Absolute. If something is absolute, it is total or complete.
My presentation was an absolute disaster. It was terrible.
Alas. Alas is a word that people say when something bad happens.
I looked everywhere for my purse, but alas, I couldn't find it.
Attentive. If you are attentive, you are careful and you pay attention.
He is a good student because he is attentive to every detail on his work.
Cape. A cape is a large cloth that covers one's back and is tied around the neck.
The superhero wore a long red cape.
Envision. To envision something means to imagine that it may happen.
I can envision my mom's face when I give her this present.
Evenly. When something happens evenly, it happens at the same rate or level.
The food was handed out evenly among the hungry people.
Folk. Folk are common or average people.
I've invited all the folks from our street to a gathering at my place.
Melt. To melt means to turn from a solid to a liquid.
The snowman that we made yesterday melted in the sun.
Patch. A patch is a part of a surface that is different in appearance from the rest.
There was one small patch of grass in the sand-covered desert.
Pleasure. Pleasure is a feeling of happiness.
The student smiled with pleasure when she received the prize.
Pop. A pop is a short, loud sound.
I heard a loud pop. Then my computer screen shattered.
Pudding. A pudding is a sweet dessert.
Would you like some chocolate pudding and coffee for dessert?
Rail. A rail is a horizontal bar made of metal or wood.
The cat was sitting on the rail of the fence.
Recipe. A recipe is a set of instructions to make food.
The apple cake that you made is really tasty. Can I have the recipe, please?
Roll. A role is the normal purpose or function of a person or thing.
My role at work is to check the quality of the products.
Shrink. To shrink means to get smaller.
If you stick to a healthy diet, your stomach will shrink.
Soak. To soak something means to make it very wet.
You need to soak these beans overnight before you cook them.
Spark. A spark is a small, quick flash of fire.
As he welded the two pieces of metal together, sparks flew everywhere.
Spirit. A spirit is someone's feelings and personality, but not a physical body part.
He has a very outgoing spirit. He can make friends with anyone.
Suit. A suit is a set of clothes. It usually includes a jacket with pants or a skirt.
I wore my new suit on my date with Melissa.
Account. An account with a bank is an arrangement to keep one's money there.
After I paid for the new car, my bank account was nearly empty.
Architect. An architect is a person who designs buildings.
The plans for building the new home were drawn by a famous architect.
Conceal. To conceal something means to hide it.
You should conceal your money so no one can take it from you.
Crime. A crime is something bad that a person does that can be punished by law.
Police quickly arrived at the scene of the crime.
Deed. A deed is a certificate that proves that someone owns something.
When she bought the car, she was given a deed to show the car was hers.
Gratitude. Gratitude is a feeling of being thankful.
The kids showed Aunt Tess much gratitude for visiting them.
Habitat. A habitat is the natural home of animals or plants.
Frogs are often found in a wet habitat, such as near a lake, river, or pond.
Intervene. To intervene means to help stop a problem between two people or groups.
The students argued until the teacher intervened.
Landmark. A landmark is an object that helps people find or remember a location.
The tall tree was used as a landmark for people to find the road to the inn.
Legal. If something is legal, it is related to the law or allowed by the law.
It was not legal for him to drive until he was 18 years old.
Memorable. If something is memorable, then it is remembered for a special reason.
The party was memorable. People were still talking about it years later.
Oblige. To oblige someone means to require them to do something.
If I wanted to have playtime, I was obliged to clean my room once a week.
Offense. An offense is behavior that is wrong or breaks a law.
Stealing a car is a very serious offense.
Proclaim. To proclaim something means to say it in public.
The Army general proclaimed that the war was won.
Rally. A rally is a large public meeting in order to support something.
The school had a rally in the gym to support the basketball team.
Resolve. To resolve something means to find a solution.
She resolved the problem with her children by giving them both a toy.
Resource. Resources are a person or country's money and materials that they can use.
The poor man didn't have the resources to feed himself.
Sentence. A sentence is punishment given to someone who didn't follow the law.
The sentence for stealing a car is much worse than for stealing candy.
Volunteer. To volunteer means to offer to do something for free.
Many people volunteered to help the adults learn to read.
Witness. A witness is someone who sees or hears a crime or accident happen.
The woman was the only witness of the horrible crime.
Access. Access is the right to enter or use something.
The manager was the only person with access to the password.
Conduct. Conduct is the way that someone acts.
She was punished for her bad conduct.
Constant. When an event or action is constant, it happens a lot or all the time.
The television at home is in constant use.
Crack. A crack is a narrow space between the parts of something broken.
The old window was covered with cracks.
Device. A device is an object or a machine.
A thermometer is a device that tells temperature.
Enclose. To enclose something is to contain it.
The cows in the field were enclosed by a fence.
Grip. To grip something is to hold it very tightly.
I was scared, so I gripped my older sister's hand.
Halt. To halt is to stop moving.
The criminal halted when he saw the police coming.
Impending. If something is impending, it is going to happen soon.
The student was nervous about his impending test.
Influence. To influence someone or something is to have an effect over them.
My friend influenced my decision to attend Terrence University.
Law. A law is a rule made by the legislative body.
The students learned about different laws during social studies class.
Mode. A mode is a setting or condition on a machine.
Mother turned the TV to quiet mode while she talked on the phone.
Perspire. To perspire means to sweat.
I usually perspire a lot when I'm at practice.
Replace. To replace something is to put it in the place of something else.
I replaced the tire on my car because it was flat.
Snap. To snap something means to break it suddenly, which causes a loud noise.
I took the stick and snapped it with my hands.
Sly. If a person or animal is sly, they are sneaky or good at tricking people.
The sly fox stole the eggs from the nest.
Tend. To tend to do something is to be likely to do it or to do it often.
My mom tends to buy me the perfect gift each Christmas.
Valid. When something is valid, it is correct or based on good reasoning.
The expert's opinion on the subject was more valid than others.
Version. A version is an account of something that differs slightly from the original.
She read the student's British version of the Chinese fairy tale.
Whatsoever. You use whatsoever after a noun to emphasize that there is nothing of that thing.
The boy had no idea whatsoever how to solve the story problem.
Alongside. If something is alongside another thing, then it is next to it.
We work alongside each other in the office.
Appetite. Your appetite is your hunger for food.
Tom has a big appetite. He eats all the time.
Assist. To assist someone is to help them.
Andrew assisted me with my homework.
Breeze. A breeze is a soft wind.
The breeze caused the leaves to fall off the tree.
Defy. To defy someone is to work against them or refuse to do what they say.
The students got into trouble for defying their teacher's rules.
Display. To display something is to show it, especially by putting it in a certain place.
The museum displayed many wonderful paintings.
Efficient. If something or someone is efficient, they do not waste energy.
My car is very efficient. I rarely have to buy gas.
Feeble. If someone is feeble, they are small or weak.
The boy was too feeble to carry the object very far.
Forgive. To forgive someone is to stop being angry with them.
Sandra forgave Peter after he said he was sorry.
Lively. If someone is lively, they have a lot of energy.
Jennifer is very lively. She's always running and playing.
Majestic. If something is majestic, it is large and beautiful.
The rich people lived in a big, majestic house.
Nor. You use nor to connect two negative ideas.
I eat neither apples nor oranges. I don't like either one.
Outraged. If someone is outraged, they are very angry.
My father was outraged when he saw that I'd crashed his car.
Pessimistic. If someone is pessimistic, they believe that the worst will happen.
John is pessimistic. He always thinks something bad will happen.
Rumor. A rumor is a story that may not be true.
Carla was spreading rumors around the office.
Slap. To slap someone means to hit them with the palm of the hand.
Out of anger, Helen slapped Eunice on the face.
Smash. To smash something is to break it into many small pieces.
Jacob smashed the window with a rock.
Subject. To subject someone to something means to force them to do or experience it.
The officers subjected everyone to a careful search before they left the plane.
Wage. A wage is the money that a person gets for doing a job.
The wages I receive from my job are really great.
Whereas. You use whereas to show how two things are different.
My sister loves horror movies, whereas I prefer comedies.
Animate. When something is animate, it has life.
Rocks and machines are not animate things.
Classify. To classify things is to put them into groups based on their type.
The biologist classified the plant as a completely new species.
Concede. To concede is to admit that something is true against your wish.
The student conceded that he had cheated on the test.
Concept. A concept is an idea about something.
I learned some concepts of molecules before working in the science lab.
Construct. To construct something means to make or build it.
The men used wood and metal to construct a house.
Decade. A decade is a period of 10 years.
She celebrated her 3 decades of work with the company.
Diagram. A diagram is a simple drawing that explains what something is or how it works.
By following the diagram, I was able to put the desk together.
Ferry. A ferry is a boat that carries passengers over short distances.
The ferry took the people across the lake.
Handy. If something is handy, it is useful.
An eraser is handy if you make a lot of mistakes.
Isolate. To isolate is to separate one person or thing from a group.
The teacher isolated the bad child from the class before talking with her.
Longing. A longing is a strong feeling of wanting.
Since he skipped breakfast, he had a longing for food all morning.
Numerous. If something is numerous, there are many of those things.
It was hard to drive fast since there were numerous holes in the road.
Particle. A particle is a very small piece of something.
The bottles of wine were covered in a layer of dust particles.
Plea. A plea is a request that is urgent or emotional.
The poor hungry man made a plea for food.
Refrain. To refrain from something is to avoid doing it.
The doctor asked Mary to refrain from eating fast food as part of her diet.
Review. A review of something is a formal inspection of it by people in authority.
The government ordered a careful review of the economic situation.
Sophisticated. If someone is sophisticated, they know many things about the world.
Jake is one of the most sophisticated persons I've ever met.
Surrender. To surrender something is to give it up.
The thief surrendered the money to the police when he was caught.
Upright. If something is upright, it is standing up straight.
Meerkats can't walk like humans, but they can stand upright.
Worthwhile. If something is worthwhile, it is important or useful.
On his visit to Canada, he realized studying English was worthwhile.